Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we have a 7.3 Powerstroke. This customer brought it to us. Me and the customer both thought that we had some head gaskets that was leaking because this coolant tank had a heavy film of oil in it. So we got underneath it, got it in the shop. When we got it at the shop, we noticed there was a ton of oil. I don't know if you can see it underneath here. I mean, a ton. And I thought, well, before we get into this, I'm going to pressure test the coolant system. I'm sure there's going to be a leak somewhere. So we pressure tested the coolant system, and we actually noticed that we had some coolant and oil that was coming out of the left side of the engine. So we're pretty sure, almost positive, that we have an oil cooler that has blown up. So we got all new parts. We're going to get this thing cleaned up and get the new parts put on. We'll keep you posted. This was the coolant. Yes, this come out of the radiator. This is what actually come out of this truck. That was that skim of oil we seen inside that reservoir tank. So heavy skim of oil, and it's pretty thick. So it's been going on for a little bit. We got everything here to flush the radiator. We got the stuff to put back in the radiator once it's flushed. Everything to get the engine clean. Brand new stainless cooler with all new gaskets. And maybe I'm a little over the top, but I like to put a new reservoir tank on it. That way the customer knows he's got good clean coolant in it. He can see it. I've tried to boil out them cooler or reservoir tanks before. It just doesn't seem to work. And then we're going to change the oil while we're at it. Get new oil in it. And it's not milky, but I just want to start off fresh. So stay with us. We're going to get started on this mess, get this cooler off, see what it looks like, and hey, please like and subscribe while you're waiting. Well, we should have had the camera rolling for this. We found Niagara Falls. There's a wrench over here. There's coolant everywhere. Note to anyone, foolish mistake, that right there is full of antifreeze, no matter how much you drain it. So we got a bath, a huge bath of antifreeze. So we're cool now, we're chilled. We got a heck of a mess all the way over there on the floor, and behind us. We're gonna need oil dry. Nothing a little scope won't fix. A little antifreeze to the mouth. That's why we keep it in the shop. Okay, sure leaks a lot for being drained. Is out of the truck and on the floor. What a mess. So we're gonna get this apart, get the new stainless cooler put in it, and go from there. Clamp on the left hand side, and we decided we were going to use this instead of the press. We actually had several attempts to where this thing just kept sliding off and having problems. So after we took off these little plastic pieces, you see I just threw that one on the table. It went a lot better and finally popped on there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we finally, after several attempts, you'll see on the time lapse, or as seen on the time lapse, we had a heck of a time with our clamp slipping off. I felt like this was the best method, because in the press there's just a few obstacles we'd have to get around. It could be set up and done for sure, but these little plastic pieces were slick and it kept sliding off and everything else. So we finally got it, and I'm glad we did, because we just about didn't make it. We were out of clamp, completely out of clamp. And I didn't want to take it back loose because I was afraid it'd pop apart. This end slid on first. This one was the last to go on. It was pretty rough to get there, but finally got it. Of course, my hands are slick. Using a rag on this wood handle, it's slick. It was a lot of fun, but we got it. And we're gonna make sure these are orientated right by laying it on the table. Hopefully we can get that twisted right. I think it's really close. Should be really close. I think it is. It looks like a little off, but we'll get this orientated right and get it back in the truck. Okay, we got the oil cooler back on. We got the bolts torqued up there. 18 foot-pounds, what we found out for that. We're going to put the radiator hose back on and then pressure test it again and see if we still have a leak. So, see what we find out. It's looking like our Milwaukee light here may have ate too much coolant. Maybe that wasn't good for its diet, but it's smoking. Okay, we passed the pressure test. We got a cap that goes on here. Pressure test the tank and whole coolant system. It held pressure at 10 minutes. Of course, the engine's cold. If there's a cracked head or something like that, it's possible that, you know, it doesn't, it's not going to show correctly. You know, it's not, the pressure test is not going to be actually a true statement. But we do know for sure that when we had the old cooler, oil cooler on it, that it didn't pass. You know, we could see that the pressure would drop. It did not hold. And then when we got underneath the truck, we could see the leak from underneath, coolant and oil. So we know for sure we got that problem fixed. So we're gonna put our radiator flush in, our water, and then we're gonna warm this engine up, let it run, flush it out, put the new coolant in, and give it a test, go to drive it around and see if we actually get oil in the coolant again. So fingers crossed, hopefully we don't. Stay tuned. Well, we got the truck outside warming up, which we're probably gonna have to go drive it. It's like 34 degrees outside, so it's probably not gonna warm up very quick. But I wanted to show you the aftermath. Look at this. What a mess. And that is what come out of the engine oil cooler. But I want to show you something else. Let me get a wire here. Walk over here and get something out of the trash. Yeah. So this wire, I want to show you something. I'll stir this around, and there's antifreeze in there. That's how much oil was in the engine coolant system. Let's walk out here and see what we look like as far as engine temperature. She's running. No leaks. And not enough temperature. We're gonna have to go drive it. I guess it's time for a break because the wife and kids brought lunch. So I'm gonna go in here and eat, then we'll go drive this truck. All right, we finished our lunch break. Man, it was delicious. DQ double cheeseburger and a fries. And then my kids donated the barbecue sauce from McDonald's. Pretty good lunch for a go fast lunch. But we're getting ready to drive this thing. I'm gonna take you guys along for the ride. was fun. Camera fell off. All right, the camera fell off the hood of the truck, and there was a passing car, and my heart sank because I thought my camera's gonna get run over. But it fell and slid completely off the road. No big deal. So, whew. This is what happens when your camera falls off the hood of the truck. All right, starting to rain. Put the camera in a safer environment here. We're about maybe a quarter of the way up on the engine temperature. So we're gonna keep driving and get it up a little bit higher. We got something flopping around in the backpack here. Probably a raccoon or something. Oh, we need windshield wiper. The truck still runs out pretty good for old 7.3. Drives nice and straight. Maybe I'll put him some courtesy windshield wipers on here for him. Always nice to do good things for people. My GoPro mount won't exactly let me get the camera completely straight, so I apologize about that. I can try and adjust it here a little bit more. All right, maybe you guys won't get seasick now. We got a little bit better view angle. Our coolant temperature is almost up. We're going to pop the thermostat, so that'll be good. So we're going to turn around up here and head back towards the shop so we can get this coolant flush out, and then we'll get the antifreeze in it. Pressure test it again with the engine warm and see what we come up with, because we are still concerned about a cracked head, but I've never heard of a 7.3 cracking a head or blowing a head gasket. 6.0s of course will, but the 7.3s I've never heard of it. Now the oil coolers seem to be prone to this for sure, and we definitely had a heck of an oil leak there. Oil and coolant coming out of the side of the engine with the oil cooler. And there is some damage I'll show you guys on the inside the cooler, and maybe it was an assembly problem or something, not sure. All these windshield wipers need replaced. We're definitely going to do that for him. We'll get this thing back to the shop. We'll pressure test it again. See what we got. Go from there. See you guys soon. Alright, I want to show you guys real quick. This is that damage I was talking about. You can see. I mean, if there was something that got in there and did that, I would think it would still be in there. So, I'm not really sure what happened, but that's probably the cause of the oil leak, I would assume. So we're going to get this thing flushed out, the flush out of it. First we're going to pressure test it and see how it does with heat. Alright, this is our snap-on coolant pressure tester. Engine warm. We are at 16 psi and holding. Absolutely no leaks besides the mess we made earlier. and there is very, very little oil, and I think that's the residual oil that was inside the engine prior to the other cooler. So we're gonna take the pressure off this, drain it down, put the good coolant and the new tank on. We should be ready to return this to the customer. Okay, we got the coolant flush drained out. It's honestly much better than I really thought it would be, really. We must have got a lot of the oil out when we drained it the first time. We got the new tank put on. We're gonna get this thing filled up with antifreeze, drive it to town, get some windshield wiper blades, send it back, man. I think we got it. Seeing the coolant pressure test was at 16. We left it there for probably 5 minutes. Not even the slightest move of the needle, so we definitely got it, and we're not pulling the heads off this thing, so we are much better ahead for us and the customer. All right, we got her filled up. New antifreeze and water, 50-50 all the way through. Actually, it's probably a little hotter than 50-50 because it didn't take all the water. We got the 2 gallons antifreeze in it, and a full gallon of water, and then probably 75% of the next one. So we're gonna go get some wiper blades, put in some complimentary wiper blades. Slow down. And we're gonna call him up and tell him it's done. I think he'll be very, very happy to know that we didn't have to pull the heads off, get them checked, all that good stuff. So I think this is a win. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Austin's Metal Mafia. As you know, Boosted Metal Mafia. We do boost, which I promise I will do a video on this very soon. I've got a ton of pipe work to do. I'm still waiting on my pie cuts. When they get here, we're full speed ahead. I will get back on this. Also, we got the engine that we're waiting on her pistons to go to the machine shop, and then this thing gets bored. Gen 1 350 Chevy for that 73 Nova. We just did the posi unit on. There'll be a build video for that. And we got tons of content. We got the mega cab to go over. We got a bunch of stuff. I mean, a bunch of stuff. 6.0 Powerstrokes, 7.3 Powerstrokes, Cummins, Duramax. We got it going on here. So keep it coming. Also, do me a favor. Do me a great big favor here. Number one thing, we're big on donating money. And every time we make a profit, we turn around and we donate to St. Jude's. That's our pick we donate to. And please do that. If you've got the extra that you can make a little bit and give it away, please donate it. It helps. So, you know, we love doing it, and we continue to do it. So thank you guys. Again, please like and subscribe. Tell us how we did. And stay tuned. Thank you all. Have a great day.